For obvious reasons, I started looking into the possibility of a felon restoring his Second Amendment right. Just saying that sentence makes me want to puke a little in my mouth because shall not be infringed. It doesn't say shall not be infringed unless you got convicted of advertising a bottle opener. It just says shall not be infringed. Which brings up a very important point. If you'd like to support this channel directly, you can do that by shopping at Only Tactical Fans at Shopify.com and pick you up some badass Second Amendment gear. And any orders over 50 gets you a blemish hat. And I also have dropped a new patch that I think that we all need to support this person because he believes in true American values and is standing up for our kids. So we need to get this patch to help support that. This Hunter 2024. Anywho, I kind of went off on a tangent, but you know, who else goes on a tangents? Crazy people. And that made me think, are crazy people really dangerous? Which made me wonder, can crazy people own firearms? And that opened up a whole can of worms because several questions came to mind. How do you separate the difference between someone who gets off on tangents and someone who has voices in their head telling them to commit acts of unjustifiable violence? And what if you're accidentally mistaken for somebody who has voices in their head when you just like to go off on tangents? And can you ever get your firearms back if you can prove you're not crazy anymore? The good news is I found a case that specifically addresses these issues. The bad news is its decision is complete trash. So let's go over this real quick. The case I'm referencing is Mia versus United States, M-A-I v. United States. This case takes place in 2019. The meat and potatoes of what's going on is some guy named Dai Ti Mai Ma Mi, I'll put it in the screen, was adjudicated as crazy at 17 years old and 20 years later now wants to own a firearm legally because we all know he already had them. He just doesn't want to catch a charge and spend 10 years in federal pound me up the ass prison because over that 20-year period of time, he got a master's degree, fathered 2 children, and I'm sure he saved at least 1 kitten from a tree, if not more. I know my husband has saved a kitten from a tree, and we now own that kitten. So, and you need to put yourself in his shoes for a second. What were you doing at 17 years old? I'm not going to get into my personal details, but Britney Spears was definitely involved. The point I'm trying to make here is people change, and that's why this case bothers me. It rules people don't and or won't change. And I could tell you for a fact, my views and or beliefs at 17 years old do not dictate my decisions and or actions today. So let's talk about the trash written in this court decision. Number 1, they said, I'm paraphrasing here, a person previously involuntarily committed is banned for life from owning firearms because no matter how changed they are, they still pose an increased risk of danger to society. Which brings up an important point. Listen to this quote from the case on their justification for this. And I quote, scientific evidence reasonably supported the congressional judgment that they nevertheless still posed an increased risk of violence. Can you smell that? Because I can. That is the stretch of bullshit. Scientific evidence can accurately predict an individual's future actions since when? Like, what in the actual fuck are they talking about? What was the study? What was the control? How many participants? What is the baseline? Increased risk compared to what? Compared to an ideal person or compared to themselves before their commitment? And that is important information that you need to make an intelligent decision. It's about as scientific as saying 9 out of 10 doctors say I make better videos when my nails are done. But wait, there's more. There used to actually be a program to give people another chance at owning firearms. In 1986, there was a federal relief from disabilities program which gave the previously involuntarily committed a path to restore their Second Amendment rights by having a court determine they are not likely to act in a manner dangerous to the public. which unfortunately is not something that can be accurately determined, so the program was defunded in 1992. Ultimately deciding it was better to let people spend 10 years in prison and destroying families over letting them legally possess firearms again with the possibility they might do something stupid. So, how did the Ninth Circuit rule? Nothing. Knowing there is no relief programs available or any avenues somebody can take after being involuntarily committed, they said, and I quote, "The Second Amendment does not demand an individualized hearing to assess a person's own personal level of risk." Now, my interpretation of this is the Ninth Circuit says the Second Amendment is not an individual right and it can simply be decided for us as a collective. Which is funny, not funny, because the Heller decision in 2008, which was 11 years before this, says the Second Amendment is not a collective right. It's an individual right. Therefore, if you are going to remove it from somebody, it needs to be determined individually and not as a collective. Because you and I both know no two people are the same. And when you are dealing with something as incredibly important as a constitutional right, I believe restraint and added caution should be used when making a decision as severe as bearing someone for life from a constitutional right. So, because pointing out a problem isn't good enough, you must also have a solution. My opinion on this matter is if somebody is safe enough to be released from a mental institution without supervision into the general public, where they have access to things far deadlier than firearms, such as cars, household cleaners, and various of oxidizers and accelerants, they should be able to exercise the Constitution as written, because remember, this isn't a document from the government to the people, but a document from the people to the government, telling them what they cannot do. Shall not be infringed. I don't know how many times I have to say that, but I'm going to keep saying it. Seems pretty fucking clear. And that's what separates us from every other country on the planet. Yes, they have constitutions as well, but theirs are from the government to the people, not the people to the government. Anyway, be sure to tell me what you think in the comment section below. And as always, have a great day and thank you for supporting me. Give this video a like, a comment, a thumbs up. Check out the description down below where there's a whole bunch of ways that you can continue to support my family in this channel. So, thank you guys all so much. Peace. Keekers? Keeker, keeker, keeker. Keeker. Oh, don't even give me that attitude, okay? Like, you are so prissy. Oh, you know, they say your cats have your personalities. Well, I have 5 of them, so I have 5 different personalities. So does that mean I have personality disorder? Kiki, stop it. Poppy, chill. Stop antagonizing her. Let her take a shit. Don't watch her. No wonder why. Please don't attack her while she's taking a shit. Poppy? Oh my Lanta. If you pee in my clothes, young lady, you guys will be grounded. Hit me, baby, one more time. Thank you, trauma. Thank you, trauma, for fucking my life up. But it also made me stronger in the person I am today. I'm a changed person, look at that. And that's what separates us from every other country on the planet. Stop it, Poppy. Oh, you're so cute.